I just had a really good conversation with my cousin, Allison. Now, we lived together in Tucson, Arizona for a little while. We were age students. However, we probably weren't in college. Namely because it was difficult to work at a job and get enough money to go to school. And also at the time, the fact was that my parents, that were born in 30 and 35 respectively, insisted that I allow them to claim me on their taxes. So they said that I was to claim myself as zero, and this would allow them to take the deduction off of their income, which meant they wouldn't be taxed on $3,642.65, whatever it was at the time, in the early 80s, when I was a college student of age and had ambitions to go to college, whether it was a good thing to do or not. As an aside, I later went to an associate program at a local college to become a paralegal, but a detour was made after a year. It's called marriage and pregnancy and moving away from the program, then raising kids. Oh, and by the way, when I did get a student loan, pregnancy did not count as deferment. So, student loans. I couldn't get a student loan in my price range, nor could I get grants, because based on my parents claiming me as a dependent, I was not actually able, because I didn't qualify because of their income, on procuring a student loan. This meant I was SOL until I turned 22. And at 22 at that time, parents could no longer pimp out their kids, use their kids as tax deductions for $3,645.19. I know that's a different number. It was $3,600, say. Let's just call it $3,600. Did they give me $3,600 that year? No, they did not. Were they able to claim $3,600 off on their income that year? Yes, they were. Was I able to procure a loan or to receive grants based on my small income? No, I did not. So it wasn't until I was 22, after 4 years of this, because you graduate at 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I missed my first 4 years of school, other than my freshman year. Waiting to have them stop claiming me on their income tax so that I could actually fill out the paperwork, get a loan, and get an education. My parents, who were born in 1935 and 1930, would be what people define boomers as today, which is utilize their children as resources for themselves and use their money for the benefit of themselves at the sacrifice of the children. Hence, knowing that I am Generation Jones, born in 63, without any of the benefits of the boomers, do not claim, I ever claim to being a boomer. Plus my mindset, my uniqueness of understanding of the world, the lenses I have by which I see it and understand it. Look at all ye scum buckets of the world who point at boomers, whether they are truly boomers or not, with vindictive fingers pointing out from themselves at these people, perceiving them to be the fault and folly of their own pathetic lives, I say, get a life. Get a life worth living, you loser, you narcissistic loser. So, as I was saying, at 22, I finally got to go to school. I got to fill out paperwork. I got to get grants. I got some really low interest rates loans, which when I did become pregnant, they did not defer it. Okay? I had to pay that thing off. Granted, I was married, but we both put money towards each other's lives because we had a life together. It's called marrying. So, let's just talk about baby boomerism is a state of being, not a birth date. And I have the right to claim my place as a fucking amazing person. Now, my cousin and I, this is when my parents were still claiming me. Why didn't I claim myself? Because I was a dutiful child. I did what my parents asked me to do. So, she and I are living together, and we're hungry. So what we do is we go to happy hour, because you can buy one beer and nurse it and eat from this buffet. That's how we got dinner. Yeah, I remember when she was so broke once, all she ate was potatoes. I remember being so broke, all I had was a canister of sardines I shared with my cat. Why didn't I get a better job? I didn't have the skill set or the clothes. I didn't have the understanding of fine dining that would have been a place to to work. I worked at a restaurant where I probably took home $100 a week, if that, and was struggling to make ends meet. I went down to the Tucson State building, downtown Tucson, for food stamps. Walked in the door. Noticed I was the only white person in there. Noticed I was the youngest. And noticed that I was in shape and not fat. And decided that I was not going to take away from a true need somebody else might have. I was going to make it happen no matter what. So as luck would have it, I met a woman, who answered a roommate wanted ad. This is well after Allison moved away. I think she moved to Montana or back to Vermont or to California. I'm not sure. But what happened was I needed a roommate to help pay the rent. She was a stripper, and she took me under her wing and taught me the business. And from there on forward, I made at least $100 a night. And 1 week, I could pay for my rent, my groceries, better clothes, my tuition, and all my books. 1 week of work. Now, my book is about that. It's also about the selling out of your daughters. It's about the selling out of your kids. So people want to talk about the baby boomer and how they destroyed the younger people's opportunities. They just put a little glitch in it. They just put a little tiny, like, slowdown on it. But if you're a true thoroughbred, you'll still run the race. And you have to define your success from within. You can't be belly aching about the cards you got dealt. You have to actually play them to the best of your ability. I just had Q-tonic. It has nothing to do with Q-tards. It's got quinine in it, and I'll probably take a zinc tablet. I can smell perfectly well, thank you very much. But it's quinine Q-tonic, sweetened with agave syrup. It's really quite good. And I put a little rose water in mine. It's delicious. So Allison was telling me about how we used to go dancing. Now this is 80s music. It was a lot of fun. It was the musicians still played instruments. And we danced on tables and wore rayon dresses as customers. But I did, she did leave, and I got that roommate not. The roommate did not want to live there. She ended up living in a house in the foothills. But we became friends, and she connected me to the dancing world, and I learned about all kinds of abuse that happens to people, women that are poor and without benefits and love of a family, and what's it like actually growing up with sexual abuse and poverty, and men and their dicks always trying to like pressure you into sex with them when you really are clearly just a dancer. So all I can say is, at this point in time, it's really wonderful to know who you are, and it's fun to be able to be amused by the idiots that insist on boxing you into something because they can't look in the mirror themselves. Probably because there's jism all over it, they jack off so much. Those poor, pathetic boys in men's bodies who want to look at me and blame me and call me a boomer and blame me for their pathetic lives, without recognizing they're being programmed into thinking a certain way by the media, and they have no idea that being a so-called boomer is a state of mind and being, not a date on the calendar. And all of y'all that know what I'm talking about can start laughing at them too. Because true boomers think of you guys as pathetic shit on their shoe. Whereas I'm like, really, dudette, come on, man. Like, try to have a better attitude. You might actually do better in life. I care. A true boomer wouldn't give a shit about you.